We're here today to talk about the USA SUMO series and how to put it together. By now, you will have received your roller cabinet, your hutch, and possibly also your side cabinets. So we're going to go through a step-by-step process on how to assemble. When you've opened them up, there's many parts inside, and this is the assembly sheet here for the hutch and how to attach it to the roller cabinet, and we're going to work our way through piece by piece. But to start with, let's go through with what you should have received in the box. One small note though, we've made a very small change. We're no longer supplying an Allen key for assembly because we've changed some bolts to Phillips head. So we'll get to that when I'm assembling and I'll point that out at the time. But let's have a look at what you should have received. You'll also need to make sure you've got all the tools required to do the assembly. Step one, we need to drill 8 holes in the top of the roller cabinet to fit the hutch. This template is your guide to exactly where to drill those holes. As you can see, the template's made to fit on top of the toolbox as shown, and also on the other end. We only need to drill 8 holes though, so we don't drill 4 holes every time we put the template down. So we start at the front. Make sure that you line up the template with the end of the box and that this part goes neatly over the edge. As you can see, I'm pulling it back and lining it up with the end. I'm then going to center punch the hole. Okay, so I'm going to drill this in a 2-step process. I think I've got a 4mm there and I've got an 8mm here, and I even can go up to a 10mm if required. Basically, we have a nutsert below the thing, and that's what these template has lined up where the nutserts are. So let's start by drilling the 4mm pilot hole. So make sure you're accurate, nice and vertical, and go at it nice and steady. Quite a high gear. Okay, it's got us through on the first go. Now, I'm going to take the 4mm out, we're going to size up to an 8mm. Make sure you don't drill too far. As I said, there's a nutsert below here that we're lining this up with. The last thing we want to do is damage the nutsert. Make sure I'm vertical, yep. There we go. Nice and clean again, and through we've gone. Now we'll just clean out the hole, make sure it's nice and tidy, and then make sure that we've got nice clean thread so that when we're ready to install we can continue on. That's bolting in, bolting out. Now we're going to repeat that 8 times, go around the box, and then when we come back we will lift the hutch up on top of the box and bolt it down. One more quick note, you probably notice I haven't actually removed the plastic. I'm leaving that on there until we complete the job so we don't do any, we don't put any unneeded scratches on our nice new stainless top. Now let's go and get 4 strong mates or 3 strong mates, because this thing's 100 kilos that we're about to lift on, so we've got to get some guys to help us lift it up on top. All right, now I've left the plastic on in here. Now I would recommend you take that plastic off before you put the hutch on. However, I'm taking this home when we're all finished, so I'm leaving it on there till I get home so it doesn't get any unnecessary scratches before I get it in my garage. Okay, we've got her up on top. Now I've got a handful of M6 bolts here that I'm going to fit in. As you can see, there's little locations all the way around. So we're going to go around. Now, it's a little bit fiddly, so you're going to have to spend a bit of time making sure you line them all up. So just put them in one by one. And now I've got them all in, I've just got to go around and tighten them up. It says in the instructions, grab yourself an 8mm spanner. 8mm socket, if you want to grab a socket, they all fit in just as well. So it doesn't matter which one you use, spanner or socket, and then just head on round and tighten them all down. I'm just working my way round, tightening them down about 80%, and then once I've got them to there and I've got them all down, then I'll go back, because that just means I can nip them up at the end if I need to make any slight adjustments. And complete. So we've got them all bolted down, all nipped up nice and tight, you can see. Nice and firm now. So now we're going to step on and we're going to install the internal shelf, the lights and the locking mechanism. You'll have received 5 of these little shelf brackets, and we're going to position them. Now I've just decided to sit the shelf pretty much just above the logo here. I've put the shelf in upside down, and as you can see, I've actually got the back facing towards me. There's a reason for that, which you'll see in a second. And you can see that's the little bracket hold, the little cutouts for the bracket where they're going to sit. Okay, now I'm going to sit our shelf up on our brackets. As I said, I've got it in back to front, but you'll now notice what I'll do is I'll roll that forward, lift it up, so I can get around the struts. Lift it up nice and simply like that. Center, into position. Done. Okay, we've assembled the power board into the magnetic power board holder, and we're going to put that up there in the corner, nice and firm. Okay, these are our LED lights, and these fit magnetically up into this shelf structure here. So on the bottom of here, we have some nice little magnets, and these are the power leads that we plug in. So when we put this into position, and you can position this any way. You can have your power board at the other end, you can have your lights so the switches are in the middle. This is entirely up to how you want to do it. And then what we also supply you with is these nice little 3M cable clips. So once you've got everything in position, then you can clamp your cables to your shelf or to your back wall to make everything nice and tidy so you're not catching your power leads on anything you're using day to day. The power into the power board, there's our on-off switch there. And we're going to put that up in there. It clips into position, and I'll just plug it in to show you that it all works nicely. And then turn it on, and there's our light. We can repeat that process at the other end, powered. So we've now got light inside our cabinet. All we need to do now is put the cable clamps on. I'm not going to do that today. I'll leave you guys to work out where you want to fit your cables. As I said, this one's going back to my place, so I'll fix it up when I get it back home and put my clamps so that it gives me the best workspace without any untidy cables. But just for their practice, clamp goes in and then simply sticks up out of position. So now we're going to assemble the lock mechanism. This part here goes on the top of the lock mechanism, and this part will come in from underneath, like that, and we'll screw that assembly into here. Okay, and we've finished doing up the locking mechanism, and now we'll pull that down, and that's us, locked up, time to go home. Okay, now there's one more part which is optional. You don't have to put these on if it doesn't suit you, but these are our small cable storage hooks, and they're designed to fit on the back here. So I'll quickly put these in so you can see what they do. Okay, so they fit on both, and as you can see, there's also another location down here where the other set fit. Very simple. All they're for, if you require, is the ability to roll up your cable. And that's everything assembled. We're all ready to go. So I'll just roll that back around, and we'll put the brakes back on, and we'll be back shortly to show you how to fit a side cabinet to this end and another side cabinet to this end.